If you want to build wealth, investing is the key. And if you have $1,000 to invest this year, you are in the right place. But it depends on whether this is a one-time investment or a regular contribution. In this video, we will explore both scenarios and give you some tips on how to make your money grow. But before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and join our community. First of all, well done on saving up $1,000. This is already more than what most people do. But I have to tell you, putting this money in the stock market may not be the best idea if you don't plan to invest more in the future. Let me explain why. Imagine investing your $1,000 in the stock market and getting lucky with a 25% return in 1 year. This is way above the average, and most professional investors would be ecstatic with such a performance. But how much would you actually make? Only $250. That's not a lot of money. It would be awesome if you had $100,000 or more to invest, but with $1,000, it's just not worth it. You might as well spend it on something you enjoy or need. Some of you may think that a safer option would be to put your money in a savings account or a CD, certificate of deposit. These are accounts that give you a guaranteed return, but at a very low rate. Let's see how they compare. As of February 2023, the average interest rate for a savings account is 0.33%. This means that if you put your $1,000 in a savings account for 5 years, you would end up with $1,016. That's barely any growth at all. You would be losing money to inflation. What about CDs? These are accounts that lock your money for a certain period of time and give you a slightly higher interest rate. The average rate for a 5-year CD is 1.37%. This means that if you put your $1,000 in a CD for 5 years, you would end up with $1,070. That's a bit better, but still not enough to make a difference. You would be missing out on other opportunities. Even if you invested your $1,000 in the stock market for 5 years and got an average return of 7%, you would only end up with $1,400. This is better than the previous options, but still not very impressive. You would be taking a lot of risk for a small reward. So, what should you do with your $1,000 if you don't plan to invest more in the future? Well, there are a few options that could give you a higher return and more satisfaction. Here are some examples. Invest in yourself. As Warren Buffett said, this is the best investment you can possibly make. This means learning new skills that can be useful to any company you work for now and in the future. The more valuable you are, the more you'll be paid. It's really simple when you think of it that way. You can invest in yourself through things like books, webinars, seminars, or courses. The more skills you have, the more you'll be wanted by companies and the less likely you'll be laid off, as is happening now all over the country. Some examples of skills you can learn are marketing and coding, which are both becoming highly valuable in just about any industry. Essentially, you want to look for skills that are in high demand but not many people have. A famous quote from Charlie Munger that supports this goes as follows: "Develop into a lifelong self-learner through voracious reading, cultivate curiosity, and strive to become a little wiser every day." The more you learn, the more you grow, and the more you grow, the more your money and happiness will grow. Create another income source. The great thing about this generation is that it's extremely easy to make another source of income because of the internet. The hard part is doing the work and lifting that business off the ground. However, if you invest in your knowledge and then take action to create something with it, then you can use the money you make from that to either invest in your business to grow it more or invest it in the stock market. So you have a steady income and a growing wealth. Some examples of online businesses you can start are blogging, podcasting, YouTube, e-commerce, freelancing, or consulting. The possibilities are endless, but you have to be willing to put in the time and effort to make it work. Now, what if you have $1,000 to invest and you plan to add more money every month? As we said before, even if you have money coming in regularly, you always want to invest in yourself and grow your skills and knowledge. This will never let you down. But what else can you do? And Microsoft. These funds have an average annual return of about 10%, which is pretty good. You can buy these funds through any online broker, such as Robinhood or E-Trade. If you want to get involved with tech, you can go with VGT or QQQ. These will expose you to companies like Microsoft, AMD, or Google. Both of these funds have different companies, so make sure you do some research to see what you like more. Lastly, if you want dividend payouts, then consider VYM or SDY. When you REITs also tend to pay higher dividends, as the companies are required to give 90% of the profits to shareholders. Some examples of REITs are VNQ and USRT. If you don't want to invest in any way, then there's one thing you can do with your money, and that's to pay down your debt ASAP. You can't make progress in your financial life if you're always borrowing money at high interest rates. You can make a lot of money by lending money at high interest rates, if you can find anyone who's willing to borrow from you, but you don't want to be on the side of the equation that's always behind in life. Paying debt early is just like a return on investment. Let's say you have a 4% interest rate loan, like a car, mortgage, or student loan. If you pay it off a year early, then you've effectively made a 4% return, because that's one extra year you don't have to pay the interest. A famous quote from Buffett that supports this goes as follows: "The most important thing to do if you find yourself in a hole is to stop digging." That's it for this video. I hope you learned something useful and enjoyed watching it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our future videos. We have a lot of great content coming up that you don't want to miss. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.